I'm the wrecking ball, tearing up the scene. Got my YouTube channel, grab a drink and paint. Unleashing art like a beast untamed.
Hey guys, welcome to Have a Drink and Paint. Let's start out with number one. We've broken 350 subs. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm happy for only been doing this a year. Here is a picture of the guy that won my wife's work party drawing for one of my pictures. Hope you enjoy it. Appreciate the love. Tonight we are going to be doing House.
Roger Cobb has come here alone.
This is a 1985 horror comedy, and it derives a lot from Evil Dead, so of course I love it. 80s Evil Dead, campy horror, I'm in. So anyways, we're gonna jump into this movie. I've got my drink. I hope you have yours. Alright, so basically the movie starts out with a elderly woman on a swing, but she's not on her butt. She's in her house and she's swinging from the ceiling fan. So if that tells you anything. Jump to, we got this guy that's an author. Everybody's trying to get his signature at a book signing, and he's got a lot of weird rando fans, so it's kind of a slight nod to Stephen King. He wants to write a book about his experience in Vietnam. So he's at his house, he ends up having a nightmare, and he's like, forget this, I need out of here. Packs his bags and goes to his aunt's house, which was the one that was swinging from the fan. So now it's his house. You get a couple of flashbacks here and there of Nam. You get a couple of flashbacks of him losing his son in the pool of his aunt's house. So during one of these flashbacks of him losing his son, the crazy old aunt is like, it's the house. The house has him. And they're like, whatever, shut up, old lady. She has a painting in her basement that depicts her closet in a weird way. So he just happens to open her closet door at midnight. At one point, I think he sees her ghost, and she's like, oh, the house has him. It tricked me. It's going to try and trick you, too. And then she proceeds to swing herself. He tries to stop her, and it disappears. So, obviously, ghost.
Leave while you can. No!
So, anyways, he goes and opens the door at exactly midnight. This big creature comes out. He gets away from it, gets the door shut. Goes immediately and buys a whole bunch of cameras and a bunch of stuff to try and capture whatever this thing is on some sort of film. He doesn't get it to come out. I don't think he knows that it has to be at midnight, so he tries once or twice, doesn't work. His neighbor gets in contact with him. One of them, or neighbors, one of them's female, the other one's male. He's basically like, I just want to be left alone, and they both try and bug the crap out of him pretty much. The female's even like swimming in his pool at one point. She's like, oh, I used to do this all the time when your aunt was here. Hope it's okay. And the male is just trying to bond with him. Seems like a single older gentleman that lives next door and just wants somebody to hang out with. So he's writing about one of his friends or colleagues in the war, one of his team members, that is named Ben. He is played by, I want to say, Richard Mole. Let me double check. Yeah, Richard Mole. Which I really kind of wish played more monsters in movies, because he did a really good job in this one. I remember seeing this when I was a kid, like, holy crap. As an adult, it's kind of cheesy, but for the most part, the makeup's still good, the delivery and everything's still good. It's just kind of the story that's more cheesy. So anyways, he's writing about Richard Mole, who was one of his team members in the army. They get sent on a scout to find enemies, and Richard Mole gets hurt. Begs our main antagonist to kill him. He can't do it, so he goes to get help. While he goes to get help, Richard Mole gets captured and apparently tortured for weeks. So while he's writing about this Richard Mole character, there's a big marlin fish on the wall. It's a swordfish. And it comes to life looking at him and starts flopping, even though it's mounted to the wall. So he goes to the shed, gets a shotgun, all the shed tools come after him. Again, this takes a lot from the Evil Dead. Not everything, but a lot. So the shed tools come after him. He gets them locked into a room, and they can't get out. His ex-wife shows up at the door, is already in the house in the lobby. He comes down, drops something. I want to say it was a shotgun shell, and she bends over to pick it up, comes back up. She's just this big, scary monster thing.
Sandy.
So he ends up shooting her, takes her out to the backyard, puts her in pieces and buries her. A little bit later, a dog digs up one of her hands and takes off with it. After that, he gets a knock on the door, and it's the female neighbor. And she shows up and basically just invites herself inside, has her son with her. So she's been like flirting with him the whole movie. Shows up with her son and is like, I need a babysitter. You look like a really nice guy. Here you go. And just shoves her son at him. And at first he's like, no, 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 no. And then he realizes that the hand is like hanging on to the back of the kid's shirt. So the kid takes off to the house. He ends up flushing the hand down the toilet and turning into a babysitter. So after he babysits and passes the kid back off to his mom at the end of the night, the male neighbor shows up and he talks him into helping him trap a squirrel, and he gives him a harpoon. And of course it's his aunt's, whatever you want to say, closet. And he's got a camera set up. He's like, I'm going to open the door exactly at midnight, and then you harpoon it, and we'll take care of it. So he opens the door exactly at midnight, giant monster comes out, he harpoons it, the monster takes off back to the closet, but the cord is wrapped around our main guy's foot, so it drags him in with it. The neighbor does not get a hold of the rope in time to stop anything. So anyways, he gets dragged in to this closet portal, and he ends up in Nam. And that's when you get the flashback of Richard Mole's character being hurt. He ends up making his way back through the closet. Dude's drunk, sitting there with a fire poker ready to beat something up. Basically, he ends up going and look at his aunt's picture again, and there's like a rag hanging over it. And he moves a rag and he sees that there's the bathroom mirror and his son is painted looking from the inside of the mirror out. So he runs up there, opens it, nothing, throws something through, breaks the mirror, and it's just black. So it's like a portal, another portal. He falls into water, comes back up, he's in Nam. So, yeah, basically he goes through, finds his son in a cage, bamboo cage, like they used back then, rescues him, jumps back in the water, pops back up in the pool. They go in the house. As they're about to walk out of the house, they open the door and Richard Mole's zombie army guy is standing there. So basically he sends his son to try and get out of the house. He ends up fighting the Richard Mole character. Takes a few times at him. Oh, I got you beat, stabbed you here. Oh no, you're still alive. Oh, I got you beat, I threw you off a cliff. Oh no, you're still alive. And then finally he realizes that the ghost can't really hurt him if he's not afraid of it. So he ends up taking one of the grenades off his belt, shoving it in him, saying, I'm not scared of you anymore, and pow! Whole house is on fire, ex-wife shows up, the male neighbor's outside, and he comes walking out with the son. The son jumps down and runs to his mommy, and in the movie, credits. Anyways, that was House. Again, thanks for your subscribes. If you haven't subscribed, you should definitely do so, because I have a lot of videos. I've only been going for a year. I plan on going as long as I can, so like, subscribe, do all that funny stuff. I have enjoyed my drink. I hope you have enjoyed yours. And we'll see you next time. Have a drink of paint. Thanks for watching.